I just love how hurt you are, Philip. All right. Well, anyways, the no, we have, no, we have, no, we have. No, no, they didn't. I don't think they heard it. I don't think they heard it. I think we're good. Fucking bitch ass nigga. God damn, just bro, no, no, I understand. It was just poor timing. That motherfucker came up and casually said that shit to me when we were at the fucking fights. Too. I was just like, wait, what? What did you just say? Why? What'd they do? Okay, did not know this. Hey, at least she gave you your fries. Yeah, because she has five guys near her. Peanuts. All right, so after that little tangent, everyone, welcome to the podcast. I am your host, Afro Black, with my co-hosts Faulty, Fox, Markov, and Flip. We got a handful of articles we can actually talk about because we haven't had the fucking podcast in like a week and a half because my ass had to move again within 6 months. So that was great. But we're here now and I'm settled in and shit. So here we are back. Um, quick things before we actually do start. Besides that little tangent, was Fox, Flip, and Markov. When y'all streaming again? What's going on here? Jesus Christ. Is it the same one that you were talking to me about last time? No. You make it sound like I'm supposed to know this. Damn. 2 nights in a row? That's asking a lot for a fuck buddy, my G. Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, it did look weird. It just didn't connect in my head. Fox, why's your bitch ass fucking camera off? Oh, that's fair. Um, yeah, no, even though that is the case, Summit hides his shit, and we are nowhere near as big as him. And if he hides it, we're gonna fucking hide it too. But if it's just a pen, I don't think they actually care. But anyways, um, but that's good, man. I'm just saying, 2 nights in a row for a fuck buddy, that's a lot. So fuck buddy, anyways. That's fair. Well, they're in the state's rules, and you get overruled by them. I mean, you say that, but Jesus. Um, but that's good, man. I'm happy for you. Anyways, let's see here. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? First things up, I seen that was actually pretty interesting in our Discord. Dead Space remake apparently got another live stream yesterday. Let's see here. What was it? Last August or July, they had the first surprise dev live stream just talking about changes that they were making, including the environments and like how they set the mood, how they set the tone and shit, being suspenseful and all that bullshit. Zero G, traveling, dismemberment, and damage systems. Let's see here. Um, I didn't personally read it or watch it. I mean, they did showcase. Let's see here. Oh, okay. It looks like they were building mainly about, or they were talking about like the audio and like how they were engineering the sound environments and shit like that. Um, saying that it's gonna raise the level of horror and immersion to unprecedented heights through stunning visuals, audio, and controls. Also promised an improved story, characters, and game mechanics, and more, which they needed all of those because the story was okay until the third one, and then it just went batshit crazy. Characters could have used a bit more development. Um, game mechanics, obviously, it was like an early 2000s game or some shit, I think. So, like, they were going to only be so good. To be honest, it's going to feel a bit rough or a bit stiff. Um, but yeah, I don't. Did any of you guys actually pay attention to it to give your 2 cents? Interesting. I don't like how generic though the whole like modernizing the game, because depending on what your definition of modern is, it could be either really good or really bad depending on what studios you look at. That, yeah, like I said, like the third Dead Space game, which they've always been single player up until the third, right? They introduced co-op, which is fine. But first of all the fucking enemies were easy as shit on. I don't remember what. I think it was on slightly above normal or some shit. And we still breezed through that game, no difficulty. And on top of that, they put a shit ton of microtransactions in it. It completely killed the whole point of it feeling like a survival horror game. That's fair. I mean, to be fair, that for the third one to Um, the game, to be fair to Dead Space 3, I think that the main reason why it didn't feel scary was because they made it more action oriented for whatever reason. I don't know why, but like it didn't have they didn't replicate or intensify the horror aspect to it compared to 2. Like I would say 2 was a lot scarier. Yeah, stressful, suspenseful. I would put it closer to a thriller versus horror, but yeah, like I get what you mean though. Like the game still feels like, oh, well, if I alert these things, the odds of us getting out of here with like barely a scratch is zero. Um, us actually getting out of this alive is virtually zero. Yes. Yeah, it's not balanced for two people. Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Um, that's fair. Yeah. James and I just rented it and we beat it in a couple days. Guys, you can't say that. You have to say like, well, shit or something. Hold on. the continuation of that paragraph that I was reading, detailing like what they're improving. The publisher having since confirmed that Ishimaru will have a seamless environment in its new version with no loading screens in between areas, and the protagonist will no longer be a silent protagonist, like more dialogue and shit like that. The last thing that they said in this article was there's no hint of a release date, but since it's been in development for a year and a half, they could be close. I wouldn't be surprised if it was released by the end of this year. Um, but it's coming to all the newer consoles and PC. So at least they aren't making it backwards compatible with like PS4 and shit, because that would have held it back a lot more. All right, I can get behind that. That makes sense. I'm not saying great or anything. I'm gonna remain skeptical from now on for pretty much every game. I'm not saying that Dying Light 2 disappointed me, but I was kind of expecting a bit more. But I will say that I will be paying attention to the development and what they release, because I mean, if it's a good game, and especially if they actually balance the co-op, it could be a fun streaming game. And the third one came out in like 2013 or some shit like that. Yeah, and that game was also trash. Expect and reality are two different things, though. Well, us. It's not whether or not we have the technology or not anymore. We already know that EA has a pretty big fucking budget, and we know that they can pump money into something if they really want to. But the problem is look at EA's track record recently in like the last 3 years. Anthem, fucking Battlefield 2042 to be most recent, fucking their development time or their development level should be almost top tier. I would argue like top 5 level, and it hasn't been that way because depending on the level of popularity for the series, they're going to give borderline minimal effort to try and get the biggest like fucking profit out of it. And I would argue that that's most, unfortunately, that's most fucking game devs nowadays, especially AAA ones. Yeah, that hasn't been realistically a thing in the past 3 years. Exactly, that's what I meant. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Especially ones that are open world, which if there's no loading between zones or whatever, that makes me think that it might be borderline open world. Like there's a lot of backtracking involved. Yeah. I don't know, like I want to give Dead Space the benefit of the doubt because besides GTFO, I don't have any other like horror games really. I have Dying Light 2, yeah, but I mean, I would say that's more like an adrenaline rush just because the level of mobility you have. That's more just like, I mean, it's going to be a minute. I'd have to make a few mistakes before the more aggressive or more advanced zombies get to me. But I still wouldn't necessarily put that as horror. I'm going to remain skeptical. That's fair. Yeah, Fallen Order is one of their better game that EA's been involved with. Or they had very limited interaction with it. That's fair. I'll agree with that. Yeah. Which is a bittersweet because don't get me wrong, Apex is a good BR and it's probably one of two that I like to play every now and again besides Blood Hunt. And unfortunately, the sad part is we didn't get a third Titanfall, which to be fair, that series most definitely deserved a third one. If they had made a third one, that game would have been one of the best FPSs of its release year. Oh yeah, for sure. Like the I don't know how the fuck they did it, but they actually balanced mech and on foot like gunplay and shit pretty fucking well. Especially since it was an underdog release title. That's fair. But I don't know. Like I definitely think if devs paid attention more to their communities besides what they want to buy, but specifically what they want to see more of or what to possibly remake or remaster or whatever, preferably remake, but I definitely think that Titanfall would have got a third one. I think it deserved a trilogy just because of how good the gunplay was alone. Not to mention the fucking movement, the mechanics. It's trash. COD pretty much has not been good up until Black Ops 2. That's fair. Like fucking Black Ops 2 is the last really solid one. Modern Warfare 2019 was probably the only other one that I really liked outside of those, like outside of those golden years, and that's just be and the thing is I only like certain aspects of Modern Warfare. The gunplay and the movement felt really fucking crisp and good. Textures, the engine felt really nice and responsive. The problem is the maps really encouraged the exact opposite of what people play COD for. People play COD for fast-paced gunfights and shit and dying almost instantly, but because of the map design being so much more different and it having way too many fucking objects in it, it caused a lot of fucking camping because there were so many blind spots. And it was so hard to respond. Well, shit, man, they didn't have a choice. They didn't know who the fuck was sitting in the corner. Like, but the thing is though is that with the new COD that's coming out this year, apparently they aren't coming out with a COD for 2023. So they're going to be forced to actually focus on one game. And from what I also heard, yeah, well, not only that, but also I heard that they're redoing the engine again. honestly, I didn't see anything wrong with the engine. I wish they would make a good Fallout game again. New Vegas too. Yeah, Outer Worlds is pretty good. I'd recommend that game. That's fair. Jesus. But yeah, that's what we got on that stuff and that little tangent. Moving on to the we'll see. I'll keep a somewhat open mind, but I'm not getting my hopes up. I don't have any faith in EA at this point. They're gonna have to they're gonna have to earn back my trust plus interest, to be honest. I mean, we'll be talking about Lego Star Wars here in a minute, or here in a couple articles. But anyways, on to the next one, which at first I was really confused about, but I understand now from both a cybersecurity and just straight up just like a programming standpoint. Um, Steam released, or Valve, I should say, released an official statement regarding Steam Deck's compatibility with Destiny 2, and they put a hard fucking deny on that. And they also added a one extra thing where they simply said if you try to load the game onto the Steam Deck, the servers will automatically detect it, and they will disconnect you and prevent you from actually logging in. If you somehow manage to get past that, the servers, if they catch you again past that initial login screen, they will ban your account. Just straight up. Why? Because yeah, it's often it's not just that. Yeah. And that it's not even like a legitimate version of Linux either. It's Valve's fucking like own version of like it's based off of Linux, but it's their own OS basically. They're using it as a skeleton, but they Valve filled it in themselves. Exactly. So I think Bungie. Actually, wait, was it Bungie that announced it, or was it? Wait, hold on. No, it was Bungie. Sorry. Bungie is the one that said it, not Valve. People obviously had like an initial reaction of like, wait, what the fuck? I think it will run just fine and shit like that. And then, if people actually, yeah, exactly, that's what people thought what it was at first, or like that they didn't understand in general why Bungie was saying that. But like after about like 5 minutes of talking about it with my coworker, I realized, wait, no, yeah, I can't blame them for that. That just sounds like another fucking mess for them to clean up. So why would they want it fucked with even more? They have enough problems as it is. I mean, that's not from like a fucking cheating standpoint or anything. Honestly, I haven't ran into a cheater in Destiny ever. Yeah, that's fair. But like from a balancing standpoint, that's all on Bungie. That has nothing to do with cheaters. They just fucked up their game with balancing. Which, to be fair, that's kind of hard to balance because it's like trying to balance fucking League in the same sense of the guns are basically different champions. And when people find one niche, they abuse the shit out of it. In the moment it gets nerfed, they find a different niche with a different weapon, and so on and so forth. Like that shit is just it's really hard to balance. But the thing is though, oh, oh boy, stasis was hella fucking broken. It still is. It still fucking is. Because guess what? They introduced a new mechanic that they can't balance. Not only that, but it's an extreme CC that takes quite a bit of time and FPS time to actually break free of. It's literally CC that the game was not balanced around. It was just fucking thrown in there and said, "Hey, have fun, guys." Oh yeah, for sure. It's really good utility in PvE and it helps in raids and shit. But the problem is that they they didn't take PvP into an account, which that's where. Yeah, no, they said that literally in fucking death meat. I forgot about that. Yeah, they were just like, ah, we'll get to it later. Yeah, it was bad. But yeah. So don't try and put Destiny 2 on your Steam Deck. It's gonna be useless and you're just gonna fuck up your account. On to the next thing, which I guess we'll just talk about Lego Star Wars now. I think Philip and Markov have been actually paying attention to this, but Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga is getting a Mandalorian and Rogue One DLC on day one. What do you guys think about that? What are the details? Give us details on Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga and the DLC they're giving. All right, never mind. All right, Carter, do you have anything about it? Are you fucking? Well, I mean, and who's in charge of this game again? Who's the publisher? Yep, not surprised. I see in the first section that apparently, so reports that the game is getting 7 DLC packs in total based on films and series outside of the main saga, available for purchase individually or collectively in the character selection season pass. Two of those, Two of those are going to be released on day one on April 5th, including characters from the first season of The Mandalorian and Solo: A Star Wars Story. Let's see here. Hold on. The first pack, The Mandalorian, will have 5 characters, including the Mandalorian himself, who comes with a non-playable Grogu, plus Grief Karga, Cara Dune, apparently non-playable. Um, Cara Dune, IG-11, and Kuel, something like that. He's pretty old. Yeah, I was about to say you're a more useless version of Yumi. Hmm. All right, hold on. Before we go on to a tangent, let's see here. The solo pack, which will be the second one that releases on day one, includes a young Han Solo, young Chewbacca, young Lando, Kira, Tobias, Beckett, and Emphas Nest. They gave two previews, or they gave a preview of the two next DLCs that are going to release afterwards. Classic characters and trooper packs will be available. Oh, never mind. Those will also be available on day one as well, but only by pre-ordering the game through participating retailers. Though publisher TT Games didn't announce where, they'll be made available to everyone through the season pass or individual purchase on the 19th of April and May 4th, respectively. Classic characters are going to include Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, Han Solo, Darth Vader, and Lando. Trooper pack will include a Death Trooper, Incinerator Trooper, Range Trooper, Imperial Shore Trooper, and Mimban Stormtrooper. Um, let's see here. Also available on the 19th of April is the Rogue One pack that comes with Jyn Erso, Bodhi Rook, Cassian Andor, K27SO, Chirrut Imwe, Baze Malbus, and Director Krennic. The last two packs will be available on May 4th, including featuring characters from the second season of The Mandalorian: Ahsoka Tano, Boba Fett, Bo-Katan, Fennec Shan, and Moff Gideon, and the Bad Batch, which includes Hunter, Wrecker, Tech, Crosshair, and Echo. That they don't say shit in for the price. I got a feeling each pack will be around like 15 or $20. That's my guess. But it's not a it's that's a consumer friendly thing though. That's not business friendly. You would think they would be consumer friendly, but you have to remember that it's Warner Bros. Backing them. I would say if you were to make a list, like of your opinionated list of like some of the most greedy companies in the U.S. or whatever, and you said Warner Brothers in that list somewhere, probably in like I don't know, in between 5 and 10 or whatever, I would not be surprised. Like they're pretty bad about that shit. Yeah, and I agree. Spare change. Greediness. That's fair. Um, any more thoughts on Legos? Jesus. All right. Anyways, on to the next article, which I'm personally somewhat interested in because I actually recently bought this game and I've been slowly working my way through it. Elden Ring DLC has potentially been discovered. Discovered by somebody with the Twitter handle ManFightDragon. A hidden arena within the world of Elden Ring was recently found outside the confines of the game's main map. This arena specifically seems to be constructed for the purpose of PvP multiplayer, which has led to many fans and also the person who exposed it, assuming that this locale will be unlocked in DLC or a new update in the future for Elden Ring. At this point in time, From Software and Bandai haven't announced anything yet, but this arena could see something big for the future. Um, yeah. Honestly, I'm okay with an arena thing because it sounds really obnoxious. If I'm specifically trying to go and kill other players, I'm not trying to have to run through the entire environment while they're running as well. And that's just no. No, there's PvP. Oh, okay, okay. I will agree or disagree depending on whether or not it's a free update. Yeah, but that's not a super core feature, and like I said, there's still PvP elements to the game. No, it is. I just told you it is though. There's still invasions and shit. There's still PvP and co-op. The whole thing though is that this arena would be specific to where you aren't invading and necessarily losing anything is what I'm understanding. Yeah, which they already do in previous Dark Souls. There's always a spot in one of the areas where it's exclusively for PvP. Yeah, if it's only for PvP, yeah. People would give endless shit for that. Yeah. Yeah. All the DLCs that they've done in the past have literally just been brand new areas with like fucking in between I'd say like 7 and 10 new bosses and mini bosses and shit. That's fair. No, that would be cool for a final boss, I'm not gonna lie. I get what you're saying, but at the same time, if you're still comparing it to Halo, like we discussed earlier, Forge is like a core component to keeping longevity for a Halo game. This new area, while it should have been in the game in the first place, if it is an update or not, hold on. Co-op campaign as well is still waiting. That is another fundamental thing that it's not going to be released for the foreseeable future. But this specific area, depending on what it is, and also depending if it's paid or not, is going to influence my idea on whether or not it's just as bad as Halo. Because right now in Halo, you can play single player or multiplayer. You can't play Forge games, custom Forge games with your friends. And that's great, but nonetheless, it's still not done. Okay, but we still don't know if that arena is going to be used or not. Is kind of a problem. That's literally part. That's like 2/3 of the, or that's 2/4 of the. No, actually no. That is 2/3 of the game missing on day one. Because people, in my opinion, when I grew up on Halo, I wanted to play co-op. That's the only way that I played the campaigns. So for that being gone and only having single player, I'm not interested in it. So as far as I know, the campaign doesn't exist yet. So, yeah. Oh yeah. I fucking love Halo Wars. Anyways, continue. Yeah, and virtually they have no excuse because that game was in development for 6 years. Elden Ring, yes, it was in development for what, like 4 years, some shit like that, 4 or 5 years, something like that. Yes, it was, but like Julio said, the game is exactly what people wanted. It still has a shit ton of bosses. The open world is actually fun to explore and is beautiful. The gameplay is still crisp, like it has been, like it was in Dark Souls 3. People haven't really had any issues with it besides optimizing issues, which people were giving them shit for. Yeah, no, I've been, and also co-op. I've been having frequent disconnects out of like randomly, and it's pissing me off. But yes, no, like it's two. I would argue it's two different situations. The only other one that I can remember off the top of my head that did that was Destiny 1 because the but that was specifically because the assets were already in there and locked away, but the problem that people had was they had already announced the first two expansions of the game. So they foreseeably already had the DLC that they were trying to release separately literally completely done. They were just waiting on a time frame. That I don't know. I don't remember any off the top of my head that was like that in Destiny 2. I know Destiny 1 was pretty fucking bad about it. Oh wait, yeah. Black Forge got leaked, didn't it? Because people found a fucking, yeah. I forgot there was an exploit that people were able to get through the walls and shit to see it. It's decent enough. Trash. I haven't played it either, but it's kind of ass. They're releasing like that's equally. Yeah, yeah, no, that's even if they announce later that it's a paid DLC, that's nowhere near as bad as Final Fantasy. That is $180 fucking dollars. There's a lot of sevens in there. Yeah, yeah, that's fair. And that's fair, but here's my this is coming from a diehard like Halo fan. Coming back to that example, it's unexcusable and unacceptable to me that they didn't have co-op and Forge ready on day one, or at least within the same month as the game. I could have forgiven that. Now with From Software, so far the game has been a Dark Souls game to me. It's been enjoyable. The bosses have been incredibly fucking infuriating, but that's what Dark Souls is for, and the environments itself. So to me, while it would be kind of weird to me and kind of peculiar if this arena does turn out to be something, but I'm not going to hit them in the same intensity as fucking Bungie. Or 343, sorry. Actually, Bungie too, because they've done shitty shit like that in the past. But nonetheless, what is this? Huh? But yeah, Elden Ring's been good. If anyone's at or for people that are actually watching the stream right now, I'd recommend it. It's pretty good for $60. You get your bang for your buck, and if you're a masochist for difficult bosses, I would recommend it. Um, yeah, pretty much. Moving on to the next article. Looks like Sony is on a fucking roll with live action TV series. Um, and also just like live cinema in general, along with Last of Us and Twisted Metal, as well as Uncharted and the Ghost of Tsushima movies being released. God of War will be moving into the live adaptation TV series alongside said Last of Us and Twisted Metal. It looks like Amazon is in talks with PlayStation to adapt God of War as a live-action TV series. The Expanse creators and executive producers Mark Fergus and Hawk Otsby, as well as the Wheel of Time producer Rafe Judkins, are all looking to join the adaptation team. Um, looks like, oh shit, God of War won't be the only thing that Amazon is looking to make a live adaptation. Amazon Studios is currently developing a Fallout TV series from the creators of Westworld, starring Walton Goggins, and a Mass Effect TV series that is also set for Prime Video, which we already knew about. Thoughts and concerns with literally all those TV shows that are going to be up and coming. We'll talk about God of War first. What do you guys think? Expectations? That's fair. That's fair. All right. All right. Yeah. Why is that? It's literally supposed to be. It's not even just that. Like Uncharted was supposed to be like the generic fucking action adventure main antagonist. That's literally what the games are. So like that's hard. That's fair. That's fair. Quite true, actually. That's fair. I mean, it's Amazon, my G. Honestly, I don't understand why they aren't looking for directors and producers that are fans of the game. Yeah. Yes. The first one was decent. I didn't like the Carnage. Well, from that's fair. So my from what I heard and like based off of how people describe the movie to me, my opinion is that first of all, they should not have made a movie that has one of the most psychopathic and bloodthirsty villains in the Marvel Cinematic Universe a PG-13 movie. That is pretty much to me like trying to make fucking Deadpool PG-13 or Wolverine PG-13. Can you make it work? Eh. Batman, I can see PG-13 more than than Venom or anything. I mean, to be fair, I do like their synergy, but it should have been a little bit more hostile towards each other, I guess. That's fair. Yeah, that's kind of hard to make a decent. That and also, I like we literally or people went to go see the second movie to see Venom square off with Carnage, and from what I heard, they only fought like 2 or 3 times. He is. I'm kind of disappointed that that post credit scene didn't mean anything because the only thing, yeah, because like the one scene that he is in like Disney's Marvel universe, he's in the fucking post credit scenes again, and then he gets out back to his fucking universe, which is incredibly disappointing because I would have loved to see him in the MCU, but you know, um, yeah. Moving on to I guess Last of Us. Do you guys have any thoughts and concerns about that series? Yep. 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 Here's my thing. If they make a series, if since they want to make a series about it, if they try to recreate and like basically keep the story the same between the first game and the first series or season or whatever of Last of Us, it'll be good. If they try to continue it with Last of Us Part Two's storyline, the show's gonna tank. That I don't know. I have no idea anything about Last of Us. I just know that the first game was fucking fantastic. It had good character writing, it had good character development. The gameplay wasn't really the main focus. It was literally just the interactions between the two main characters and the story and the journey that they made, and then the fucking monumental fucking clusterfuck that is the ending that makes people question, bro, Joel just fucked over humanity. Well, not only that, but just so human too. like I said, if they make the series surrounding the first game, it's possible. It's possible for them to make it work with the first game. If they try to make the series made out of the both of the games, it's not a good likelihood that they make a good TV series. No one's gonna care enough to watch it. What? They might be able to make that work. Bet to actually get viewers. Yeah, but that's fair. Yeah, I mean, Into the Spider Verse should have proved that people still will go see animated movies. Like, Spider Verse is fantastic. Like, I would argue that pretty much all the fucking Spider Man movies are actually really good. Honestly, like that's been the most consistent movie series. Yeah, I would agree. Like the animation style was fucking gorgeous. It was fucking amazing. Also the soundtrack too. But anyways, Last of Us it's so lasting thoughts for Last of Us for me is if they make a series around the original characters but they only do the first game and then after that maybe I guess they could discuss maybe making their own timeline of it, which they can't really do worse, to be honest. They can't do worse. They are the second game literally killed Joel within the first fucking couple hours of the game. So I don't remember the timeline. It's like I'm assuming it was within like 30 minutes or some shit like that. Yeah. So the fact that they pulled that shit off in the second game means that they probably can't do worse with like making their own version or continuation from the first game. So if they do it that way, the game I think the show will be fine. If they try to continue it through the first and second game, it's probably going to tank after the first season or whatever, or after they continue they finish the storyline of the first game. If they make a series with that title, but they just replace zombies with clickers and then random characters, then people probably aren't going to care enough to actually go watch it on Amazon. Because it's just going to be like another Walking Dead, like Philip said. Yeah. That I don't I'm mixed on it cuz who's developing it again? They didn't keep the original voice actor, did they? For fuck's sake, man. Jesus. That pisses me off. That's going to piss me off more compared to if they don't keep the voice. Actually, no, I guess how would they make that work in the live series if they just use different actors and voice actors for the same character? Did they? Oh, I see. Okay, I see. Um, that's great. That's fucking 10 out of 10. That's great. If that's the case, then they also need to do something like that for Kratos. Then they need to if they kept the same voice actor for new Kratos. Yeah, no, I understand that. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. I'll give you that one. They don't have a set main character. It's always been like a generic fucking player. Yeah. Ghost of Tsushima, I could see that working honestly. I could see that working as a movie. Again though, that isn't my problem. I just say that Ghost of Tsushima kind of plays like Naughty Dog games in the sense that it's cinematic already. That's fair. That's fair. I'll give you that. Now, the thing is though is that generic samurai movies are still pretty good. It's just like it's just going to have Ghost of Tsushima slapped on it, but I mean, yeah. I agree. Mass Effect TV series. That would be cool. That's fair. I'll give you that. Julio, how would you feel about a Nier, not even necessarily a live action, but a TV series about Nier's universe? Yeah, I think if they did it in an anime format, I think that shit would be amazing. Live action, I'm kind of after fucking what the fuck was it? That one anime that Scarlett Johansson played the main character, Ghost in the Shell. As long as they don't fuck it up that badly, I'll like, and as long as they do it in an anime format, I think Nier would be a fantastic TV series. Just because of how much lore is in the game and how much context you need and like the ways that they get actually fill the holes and the connections between each of the games. Because if I remember correctly, chronologically, Automata is the result of all the previous games, like just in the future after everything goes to shit. And I think Replicant is the middle game. I think I would have to watch like a video on it, but I think that's how it goes. Um, let's see here. So Twisted Metal would be the last one. I think it'll do average, to be honest. Like there's a bunch of the characters, yes, but as far as I know, Twisted Metal has never really had like a fucking story. Like it's just been cars fucking killing each other. That's what I'm saying. Like I think it would just be another twist, just another generic show. Okay. All right. That's fair. All right. All right. Moving on to the next article, or I guess more mainly a tweet. Carter, you probably know way more about this. State of play that happened on March 9th. Is there anything that we haven't talked about yet that you can fill us in on? I'll be right back. Oh, nice. God damn. All right, fair enough. Let's see here. Um, Other than that, let's see. God damn it. I got distracted by Twitter. Okay. Um, Next tweet that we had was also from Carter. Let's see here. In light of recent world events, we have made the decision to delay, not delete, Jesus Christ, delay Advance Wars 1 plus 2 Reboot Camp, which was originally scheduled to release on the 8th. It looks like as of 4 days ago, we're still waiting on an update for that. So for anyone who was, oh, that's not bad, not terrible. All right, all right. Oh, yikes. Jesus criminy. All right, fair enough. I played a strategy game way back when on GameCube. I just don't remember what it was. It was like chibi like soldiers and shit like that. It wasn't Advance Wars though. I think it was on GameCube. Battalion something? Something Battalion? Hold on, let me see. Battalion Wars. That's what it was. They made a second one too, I think, didn't they? Jesus. All right. Let's see here. Moving on to the next article. Carter, you'll probably know a lot more about this, and possibly Julio than neither Philip or I, or either Philip or I. Persona Insider leaks new game starring Akechi. Um, all right. I'm assuming you guys are somewhat hyped for this. Which is pretty sensible. Wow. That's fair. I'd be okay with it. I like pancakes. All right. Wait, what's this? Persona 6 rumor sheds light on reveal and exclusivity. That's fair. All right. Well, the last thing we got is one that Julio actually put in here about so the whole Russia Ukraine thing is happening, and Russia has just been kind of digging themselves a bigger hole and then just kind of like quintupling down, because big mother Russia can't possibly be in the wrong, and also can't possibly lose. The latest of Russian antics is Russia recently passed a new executive order that basically makes it so if you are a company from a foreign country, i.e., the U.S., so like for example, if McDonald's were to put like a McDonald's building in there, and they suddenly said, "Hey, I don't want to be there anymore. We're pulling out of the country." Well, they seize your copyrighted rights. So basically, they can say, "Okay, you can leave, but we get control of this building and all your assets to this building. It's ours now." And they actually, apparently, according to Julio, is they are also seizing software piracy. So they can stake anything that they want to. Yep. So yeah. So on top of their economy slowly crumbling, now they're just trying to, just say fuck it. You guys can just do whatever you want. We're a true free country. Yes. Goddamn. Yep. We truly do. Also, when did Fox leave? Why did he leave? Oh. All right. Well, he got a feeling that was a lie and he wanted to go to bed. But nonetheless, I ain't mad. Um, but yeah, no, the whole Russia Ukraine thing is a just giant dumpster fire. My coworker has been updating me constantly for like the past couple weeks since the invasion happened, and needless to say, Russia is looking like a bunch of clowns. Let's be honest, with like even half the shit that I've heard about them, let alone all of it. Um, yeah, no, the Russian military could use a bit of fine tuning because this has been embarrassing to say the least. But nonetheless, it makes it so Ukraine actually has a an actual chance, which realistically they shouldn't. But Russia's just like, let's just give them a handicap. Fuck it, and then that handicap turned into a cripple, like a legitimate crippling, and now they don't know how to recover apparently. So I have no idea because I've never played them. Jesus. Jesus. All right. All right. This is Jesus Christ. Mm, all right. That's fair. You gotta increase usage stats somehow, dog. But I think that was the last article I got. Anything else y'all want to mention? Yes. Yep. Don't you fucking I'll kill you. I got to go see it on Monday. That's fair. All right. What- I heard that there's a shit ton of villains in it. Yeah, I'm curious actually. The difference probably then is because you guys are it's kind of like seeing a youngling like an actual interpretation of Tom Holland in the sense that instead of him always having the blind optimism and inexperience, it's just like a fresh Batman that hasn't been hardened by either by years of already doing it or just suddenly being already at his peak. Like Batman, the Batman that you see in the fucking comics has been fighting crime for quite a bit, and also he literally is a master of all martial arts. He's probably not the same thing in the movie. Not in the comics. So they put a realistic spin on it. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Okay. Well, you heard it here. Um, I ain't got anything to report like that. I actually, so I don't know if you know this, Carter, but back when I was a really young kid, I had a shit ton of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, right? Like the classics. I had fucking a classic Dark Magician. I had fucking classic Red Eyes, Blue Eyes, and all this other shit, right? Well, all that got taken away because my mom entrusted paying our storage bill to a drug addict and expected her not to go and lie and then spend it on said drugs. So I lost all those cards. So I decided to pick up the hobby again, and over the course of the week, I've been buying cards and shit, and I already have a return of profit. It's actually pretty good. Um, One of the cards that I actually pulled like 4 years ago when Kane Hunter and I actually bought cards, and I ended up pulling a full art like trainer card of Bianca. That shit is worth up to $700 now. And just no, I haven't yet actually. That's one of the few cards I want to get PSA'd. Just because of the authenticity, and then people can't say, "Oh, well, I don't know if it is." It's just like PSA is just an automatic stamp of I don't have to deal with people constantly arguing with me and shit like that. Yeah. So there, I got that card, and then when I pulled all those Yu-Gi-Oh cards, I actually pulled some tonight, and there was a set that came out called the Eldorado set, and basically what they did was some of the prize cards or like the actual rare cards or whatever the case may be, they rimmed the cards with gold foil. They did that, and then that some of the cards have golden outlines on the art of the monsters and shit. Well, I pulled a card that's worth up to about $300 from that tonight, and then I pulled some Pokemon cards last night, and I got a Donphan that's worth up to $400. And the set that I got for the Pokemon cards, apparent, so they came out. You know, you guys remember those jumbo Pokemon cards that came out? They started coming out with the ones that are like borderline just full on fucking pictures. So that one came like visibly, like it wasn't a chance to get it. It was full on just came with the set. The one it's this one is split and it's a bunch of Pikachu's and this thing is worth up to like $100 already. So needless to say, I'm already turning a profit. Granted, I'm not going to sell them anytime soon, but you know, there's that. And then I also found a Korean version of one of the original sets, or one of the actually the first set of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, Legends of Blue, but it's a Korean version. And I found it for $30 on Amazon. I don't know how. So that'll be here on Thursday. So I'm starting up my collection again, and I'm trying to get rid of all my excess cards right now that I don't need. Yeah. So it's been fun so far. I've been getting some of the classic cards. They came out with a new set unknowingly to me, and I ended up pulling like a weird hollow design version of Dark Magician and a couple other cards and stuff like that. So it's been fun. It's been a good time. It's a nice little hobby. Jesus. Well, the good part to me, or the in my like what makes it good for me and most profitable is because I'm not actually gonna be using the cards. Like as soon as I find ones that I actually want to keep, I immediately just put them in card sleeves or like in a fucking binder. So I don't really touch them past like the initial pull. So whatever condition they're in, that's what the condition they're gonna stay in. So Jesus, this fucking guy. That's funny. But that's the only other thing that I wanted to mention. Carter, you got anything besides Batman? All right. So that's the second helping of Batman. Julio, you got anything? Oh yeah, the new Pokemon games got released. Don't know jack shit about them, but the starters got released. They're pretty much plastered all over the internet at this fucking point. So yeah, yeah, we cat's out and about. So Yeah, get hyped for that. We already know what the next Pokemon's game is gonna be. I still haven't beat Pokemon Legends Arceus, but I'm hoping to get a bit more progress in. I don't know why, but I've just been having zero inclination to actually want to play it. I don't know why. I know. I need to I need to just force myself through the grinding phase and shit like that, just like how I did with Cyber Sleuth, and I ended up enjoying that game too. I don't know. I don't. Maybe it's just because I actually have to pay. It feels like I have to pay more attention to it. I guess. I don't know. Like compared to other Pokemon games, like where I can just kind of like somewhat pay attention to the video or to the battle and still do what I'm doing. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's fair. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing more shit regarding the Pokemon game. If you guys already haven't picked up Legends of Arceus, even though I have been taking my sluggish ass time with it, it's still a good game nonetheless. Um, yeah, I think that's everything. Jesus criminy. All right, you heard it. You heard it here, guys. Just start up the fucking hashtag. But I think on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream for the night. If you guys enjoyed tonight's podcast, be sure to drop a follow both here on the Twitter. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as drop a follow to Flip Flop and Markov. Their Twitch handles are literally Ags is. From there, you should be able to find links to their socials as well. I usually upload the VODs up to, or usually the latest is like a day after the the live stream or whatever. Um, you can also watch just the VOD replay on my Twitch channel. Either one works. Um, but other than that, I think that's all I got, or all we got for you guys tonight. Any closing comments, boys? All right, cool. All right, that's the third time I've asked, so I'm just gonna cut them off. Have a good night, lads.